Welcome everyone to Atheism 101. I'm your favorite bard, Korak the Bard, and today we're scraping further into the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the dregs of society. A man so pathetic, so devoid of charisma that even his fellow grifters on Rumble don't want him. Another shining example of my favorite catchphrase, there is no worst, only worse.
It's worse.
As a true Dunning-Kruger specimen, he's convinced that he's my superior. So we're comparing every conceivable metric that I have to offer against a white nationalist who thinks your favorite bard just doesn't measure up. Is this man of God better than the bard?
Let's find out!
It is now my sad duty to have to introduce you to
Based Faith TV.
I feel very fortunate that I've reached a point where I no longer need to go hunting down theists in order to engage with their terrible ideas. Now they come to me from unspecified locations and origins unknown.
Where do all these guys come from?
Regular viewers may remember how Andy Pants showed up at my Twitter doorstep one day and introduced me to his twisted-ass world where putting his own daughter in a video game he made about child trafficking is totally normal. If you haven't seen my deep dive on him, it's a doozy. Similarly, the more I scratched the surface of
Based Faith TV,
the worse it got. Don't worry, I'll skip to the good part. He's a Rumble podcaster who got kicked out of Oklahoma City University for violating his suspension in order to dress up as the Joker to post flyers on campus saying it's okay to be white. And naturally, like every other fascist douchebag out there, he's fundraising off of being a terrible human being who refuses to understand that his actions have consequences. So buckle up and enjoy the toxic-ass combination of white supremacy, Christian nationalism, and objectively terrible singing as we explore just how based faith can get. Be sure to stay tuned to the very end of this video for a special karaoke battle where you determine the winner. It's Korak.
I'm on my way, I'm making it. I've got to make it show, yeah! Big time! Yeah.
Based Faith TV.
Showed up during a time of my life when, much like Spider-Man looking for a villain to punch and finding none, simply beat the shit out of a condemned building to vent his frustration. Fortunately for me,
Faith-Based TV
showed up just as I was looking for a punching bag and found he was happy to play the derelict building to my frustrated Spider-Man.
Finally, I can just sit back and enjoy myself.
It all started when I mentioned the fact that I thought that blood magic worshippers were, kinda weird.
I'm bleeding, making me the victor.
And as if to oblige me,
Faith TV Based.
decided to prove me right by cranking the weirdness up to 11.
These go to 11.
Here's a sample of his well-reasoned and perfectly logical Twitter missives directed at your favorite bard. No one cares what you think. You don't think. Blah, blah, blah. No, you. Is this the power of atheist wit? You have no talent or this wit. This whole Reddit snark thing you're doing is very gay and cringe. STD, fecal incontinence. Go back to Reddit. I was going to offer you the opportunity to debate me. I would
Crush you in karaoke.
You couldn't hold a conversation with me for 5 minutes. Oh, you poor, pathetic child. I hold my own for however long I please, and the rest of the time there's a line of folks clamoring to take that honor off my hands. Sadly, he only threatened to debate me, as there was zero follow-up, and saying he'd crush me in karaoke?
Ah, bitch, please.
I took a peek at his Rumble channel, and if you're unfamiliar with Rumble, it's basically a video platform for white supremacists who couldn't figure out how not to use slurs on YouTube. If you want a full breakdown, head over to Podbean to catch me and Doc Scorpion on the Ready to Rumble podcast where dipshits like
TV-Based Faith
are regularly featured. And what's it, this joker claimed he could out-debate and out-sing your favorite bard. As he is a true Christian who lives in a world where the claim is the evidence, he didn't deign to engage with me any further to prove just how far he could stomp me into the ground. So I'm afraid I have nothing else to go on besides what he posts online, forcing me to do a comparative analysis between your favorite bard and a man who was kicked out of college for being a racist dickbag. And now it's time for a dramatic reading of Origins of a Racist Dickbag.
Warning, the following excerpts are the actual musings of a very disturbed racist idiot and bear an uncanny resemblance to the notebook diaries of Kevin Spacey's character in Seven if you grew up on nothing but a steady diet of 4chan memes. Your favorite bard will whisper corrections from off stage. Viewer discretion advised.
In 2019, I was expelled from law school and questioned by the FBI over a flyer with just 4 words on it. It's okay to be white. That's 5 words. My scholarship, gone. My career in law, over. My reputation, torched in front of the entire world. The world didn't know your identity. In 2018, I was accepted to law school with a scholarship based on my LSAT score. I went from being the social guy in high school to a loner who only wanted to go home after class.
You must be the first.
I tried to keep my head down, but the school made it difficult. Every day was another lecture about how America was evil, the justice system was racist, and how it was our duty to, quote, change it.
Oklahoma's gone woke.
At the time, I was single and feeling isolated.
Can't imagine why.
I made a Tinder account, but dating in Oklahoma City felt hostile. Every other profile was some variation of, quote, no white boys.
Now you don't like racism.
I got bitter.
Red flag.
My sincere bio turned into a trolling one, something I knew would get under the skin of the local dating pool. One activist girl matched with me. She interrogated me over my bio. I answered honestly, but she wasn't looking for honesty. She wanted a scalp. She screenshotted our exchange and sent it to the dean.
Clever girl.
The next day, I got an email to meet with the dean, an openly gay Jewish man.
Anti-Semitic.
They slid the screenshots across the table. I denied it was me, and after a half hour, the dean said he believed me.
You just admitted you're a lying racist.
I left relieved, but furious they'd tried to punish me for a private dating app conversation.
No one likes trolls.
I vented about it on assuming anonymity. Anon sympathized, and then identified the school and began emailing the dean.
Faith in humanity restored.
The next day, another email. The school was opening an investigation. They brought in a bulldog prosecutor, demanded my phone, emails, and messages. I refused.
What a rebel.
This dragged on for months. A week before finals, they held an 8-hour tribunal.
That's what you do with Nazis.
My lawyer dismantled their case, but they'd already decided the verdict. 1-year suspension, scholarship revoked, mandatory counseling if I returned. I lost my housing, my income, and my future in law. I got a pizza job and daydreamed about disappearing.
Follow that dream.
Then a Joker came out.
And you related to the villain.
Around the same time, the It's Okay to Be White flyer campaign was heating up. This is my chance, I thought. I dressed as Joker, painted my face, printed flyers, blasted music, and danced around posting them on the law school building. I was pulling the school's pants down for the world to see.
Your revolution was lame.
A few days later, I came home to a note taped to my door from an FBI agent.
The FBI uses Post-its now.
When we spoke, he told me the school wanted me, quote, handled. I admitted to the flyers. Days later, the official expulsion letter arrived. This time I saw it coming, and I thought it was funny.
I'll bet.
The story went global.
It did not.
Some called me a hero.
Fellow racists.
Others called me a Nazi terrorist.
That is correct.
Since then, I've lost jobs,
Good.
sunk deeper into debt,
Good.
and worked 2 positions just to survive.
Not good enough.
But I've also been given a platform.
Bad.
I've met incredible people.
Fellow fascists.
I've gotten messages from strangers saying my story made them feel less alone.
Male loneliness epidemic.
If I could go back, I'd be bolder and more honest from the start.
By being more racist.
But I can't, and there's no point in regret.
Or shame.
My law career is over.
Good.
But I'm still alive.
Unfortunate.
So God must still have a purpose for me.
You're a cautionary tale.
What I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed forever.
Yeah.
And with that, the origin story is complete, and we have our newest supervillain who makes Professor Chaos and Cookie Magneto look like masterminds by comparison.
It is I, Cookie Magneto. Fight me and find.
And what has the United States become when you can't dress up as a well-known villainous murderer and post racist bullshit on a campus you've been suspended from?
What is this world coming to?
There's so much I want to delve into with this guy. His misogyny, white nationalism, desperate incel vibes, backwards-ass Neanderthal thinking, terrible singing voice, lack of any kind of production value on his channel, and so much more. But alas, there are only so many hours in a day. I could literally drop the needle anywhere on this record and come up with hours of content. I feel like a dog who's been thrown an entire crate of tennis balls. Where the hell do I start? Maybe we should start
by starting at the end.
And here we go.
Yep, That's me. My story on the front page of National Law News next to a picture of Harvey Weinstein. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, don't worry, I'll voluntarily tell you instead of moving on and walking away from the absolute mess I've created out of my life. I mean, I'm still young, no one mentioned me by name in the papers because I'm still a minor, and nobody reading this on the internet will ever know who I am personally, so I could potentially learn from this horrendous lack of judgment, or I could double down on my racism and make it my entire personality. If you think that's a worthy endeavor, please donate to my GoFundMe where I whine about how I've been victimized by the system, when all I did was dress up like the Joker, trespassed on a college campus that had suspended me, and all I was trying to do was spread the message that it's okay to be white. If you go to my Rumble page, you can find me streaming for hours at a time when I could be seeking gainful employment, while I stare blankly at the screen as I play Fortnite like a rank amateur, rebroadcast Nick Fuentes bullshit while I simply listen and provide no commentary, then have a snack while I try to talk into the mic and eat at the same time, topping it all off by singing some objectively terrible karaoke.
Asking if you change his ways.
And have the occasional crash out as I play the perpetual victim.
Well, fucking faggot loser, you petty, fucking faggot, cross-eyed ginger piece of shit. Fuck you. Suck the fattest part of my fucking ass, you stupid fucking faggot.
In a world full of fascist grifters who are actually making quite a comfortable living off of being garbage people, it's nice to see at least there are some turds so smelly that they're not invited to the get-rich-quick grievance grifters club. Since he couldn't get the originator of the It's Okay to Be White movement to platform him on Rumble, he had a bit of a crash out when he realized that he was too repulsive even for the cesspool that is the Rumble sphere.
I can't even get this fucking guy to give me an interview. He said he was going to give me an interview. He's the It's Okay to Be White guy.
So, my guy, you heard a Rumble podcaster say it's okay to be white, you ran with that dumbass slogan, made it your whole personality, decided to proselytize hatred to your fellow co-eds, and are now facing the consequences of your actions. Naturally, being a supreme genetic specimen of the master race, none of this is your fault. And it's not only the woke left's fault, but it's apparently also the fault of your fellow fascists on Rumble because they won't platform your dumbass.
This one fucking guy has the wealth, power, and influence to give me an interview and change my whole life, but I didn't ask the right way? Fuck you!
Look, this has nice guy energy written all over it. Hey, I was nice to you and very polite, and you wouldn't give me what you want, so fuck you, you whore. I swear this guy could charm the paint off walls. This is normally the part where I say, ladies, he's single. But he says he has a wife and kids, the poor things. But when addressing me, since I'm neither a woman nor a minority, and he couldn't use his typical slurs, he decided to make a crack about my YouTube subscription numbers. And as I've explained in other videos, starting a channel from scratch and gaining over 1,000 subscribers in about a year is pretty good for an anti-theist bard from out of left field. But since he brought up the old numbers game, let's take a look at his.
Oh, no.
You mean to tell me that even on a platform that caters to con men, he can't get his game up into triple digits? I think this guy may just suck at everything. Which brings us to the actual content he produces. And I wouldn't subject my dear viewers to too much footage of TV faith-based, for fear that prolonged exposure can lead to cringe-induced injuries. But here's a sample along with what would be production notes if he had any.
So Trump promised that he wants to make the 2017 tax cuts permanent. The tax cuts in 2017 were passed using the same budget reconciliation process.
Thing at is that, like, and then you know, to be honest, there's like one other person, but I like kind of act like I've kind of trolled people. Like I've never done this to you, so but you just made me think of it. But like I'll just be like, yo, that's my alt.
I hope he changes his mind and invites me on his show so I can tell him to shove his fucking gay show up his fucking ass with his libs of TikTok reposts. You fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. I should be an attorney by now. I lost my future. And yeah, it was my fault. I shouldn't have done what I did. I should have been smarter about it. But I lost my future. Ever since then, I've been scraping to create a new future for myself from scratch. For me and Nick and Sam Hyde. I get worried that somebody's gonna like our friend Based and Great. Since it's Lent, I'm not saying whatever. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tu, Iesus. Sancta Maria Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostri. My heart goes out to you, Big Bongo. God bless you. It's just like, fine, whatever. Whack! 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 You know that when you're interacting with a man, if you say the wrong thing, there's like a very real chance of getting popped in the mouth. Like you have to, you know, as a man speaking with other men that like there's the underlying threat of violence. And you have to operate sort of within that framework. But women just don't understand that. They don't understand that like at any moment a man could just haul off and beat the shit out of you. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways.
You can blindly throw a dart at this board and either get dead air or a racist, misogynist, anti-Semitic, small dick energy-fueled rant. There is very little in between. What's truly sad is how close he comes to grasping that he could live a fine, quiet life with his family. But like a true, self-centered, entitled dickhead, he just can't quite get there.
I've got a wife and kids. I've got babies to feed. I've got a white family. And I'm just trying to get out there and tell my story. I'm just trying to build a brand or something so I can put food on the table for my family because I've got 3 fucking jobs.
Then stop being a racist dickhead, you racist dickhead! Ladies and gentlemen, behold the consequences of being a small-minded racist piece of shit. If you aren't able to capitalize on it and prey on the dumbest among us who miraculously have disposable income, then you're left out in the cold in a world that doesn't tolerate racism, fascism, and every other ism you support. We've literally fought wars over it. And guess who we were fighting? People like you. White supremacists, Christian nationalists, fascists, the kind of douche canoe who thinks it'd be clever to go trespassing while dressed up as the Joker and post "It's okay to be white" signs on the campus of a law school. You said you were doing well in law school, but I guess all that DEI, CRT, BLM, woke indoctrination that right-wingers like you are always bitching about didn't sink in. Probably because you're tone deaf on top of being a complete buffoon.
Observe.
I'm gonna watch it growing.
I find it hilarious that a man like this could dig a hole for himself so deep while playing the victim when other Rumble podcasters are unwilling to give this idiot a platform so he can grift off a piece of their pie. And he's not even subtle about it either. He knows that someone from the Stu Peters Network or any other big name on Rumble could turn his little pity story into a cash cow, and then he'd have that sweet, sweet Speedbag Benny Shapiro money.
Speedbag Benny, Speedbag Benny, Speedbag Benny, so strong he knocks himself out.
And it could change my whole family's life. It could change my family's life. It could change my life. It could finally set me up in a place for the first time in 6 years where I don't have to worry every month about how I'm going to pay my bills, to keep my family in our house, to keep food on my table, to provide for my kids.
I sincerely hope this poor, pathetic fascist keeps chasing that dream as his world crumbles around him. Because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to fascist pigs like BFTV Faith, it's no less than they deserve. Not that I'm advocating violence. I simply recall a time that the rest of the world stood up to Nazis. And that's the world I hope we can return to someday.
Hey, shoot that guy.
Until then, making social pariahs out of deserving fuckwits is a step in the right direction. Well, that'll wrap her up for today, folks. In these dark times, I'd like to remind you that although the rising of a weak-kneed milquetoast version of a Fourth Reich may seem terrifying, it's important to remember that fascists are just scared little bullies. Stand up to them individually and call out racism when you see it, and they crumble like the pitiful cowards they are. because at the end of the day, they have nothing but their empty hatred. Any Weasel, before we get to the karaoke battle as promised, thanks for watching, and as always, a huge thank you to my patrons and subscribers. If you want early and exclusive access to your favorite bard, do join us at patreon.com/KorakTheBard and receive your own theme song written by yours truly. And if you want more deep dives featuring political commentary, join me and Doc Scorpion on the Ready to Rumble podcast. Links are in the description. Finally, if you'd like to support my recovery following my
5th heart attack,
I've started a GoFundMe of my own. Unlike the right-wing Republican side of the aisle, I'm not trying to raise money off of a pity party because I'm an unrepentant racist. Rather, I'm trying to recover from some serious health issues I've been dealing with for some time. So any effort you can make on that front is incredibly appreciated. Your money, resources, time, support, likes, and subscribes mean the world to me, and I can't thank you enough. The outpouring of support since my latest heart attack has been overwhelming, and I'm extremely grateful. And sure as the sun rises in the east, I will uphold my oath as a bard and eventually thank you all in song. So now, as we draw to a close, I leave it to you, dear viewer, to decide who has the superior singing voice. I'm sorry I have to expose you to the voice of
TV-based faith.
This is for posterity, so be honest.
And I leave it to you to decide.
Warning, the following clip may cause nausea, disorientation, bleeding ears, brain aneurysms, and an overwhelming feeling that you will never again experience joy. Viewer discretion advised.
My eyes getting bigger, and my nose, my belly's getting bigger, and my bank account. Look at my circumstance, and the bulge in my big, 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 big.
Yeah.
Well, that was the best that
Base TV faith
could come up with. Let's see if I can top that. As always, I'm your favorite bard, Korak the Bard, singing off with a little Johnny Cash. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire.